going, Da? How's everybody doing? Sounded like a manifesto day, to be honest. Not gonna lie. I am feeling the vibe. Everything is good. All is good in the world. Good, like, fusion music. Oh yeah, I forgot that I can effectively just duplicate this. I love it when that happens. Wow, love it. I love not having to do a bunch of work. I'm so lazy. Okay, let's fix Sean. Is it just her arm? It's legit just her arm. I love it when that happens. I'm so fucking tired, guys. Oh, that finger's fucked up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hi, Cal. How you doing? Did you see that, apparently I can maybe just get Canadian citizenship by being, like, low-key from Nova Scotia? Fucking crazy. Fucking crazy! So now my dad has to go on a journey, on a quest to figure out who the fuck it was in our family tree that was Canadian. And then, we can go from there. That's gonna be fucking insane. Did I? You know what? You know what's weird? You know what's really weird? I've been so out of it. I can't remember if on the last page I actually put dialogue. I did. I love having severe brain fog because legit I just don't fucking remember what I do 99% of the time. Okay, I need to change her mouth too. Go. Hi, yeah, we're working on comics today. How are you doing, Carol? Cal, what if Nova Scotia is the key? I am sorry that you are sore and that work was weird. Sometimes it's just like that. I don't like that shit. We're gonna have to figure out if I have the brain power to get through today. Not alone, you're not alone, you're not alone. She's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, I don't know. Okay, so he's like really pissed off in this panel. He is annoyed. Oh my god, speaking of peaches. It's always a good flavor. I love that. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this lovely. We're gonna do like whatever this expression is. I am drinking some strawberry goji berry oolong, and it's not great. It definitely is giving like I recognize that these people that made this blend, it's not a bad blend, it's just not good. Like the goji berry somehow makes everything really bitter, and I don't know how that's physically possible. And then like the strawberry is not very prevalent. And maybe this is just me being a little bit of a tea snob where I'm like I kind of wish that it was just the flavor of the tea and nothing else. But like I feel like this fruit really detracts from the oolong underneath, and maybe the oolong is not even really that good a quality. And so I might be tasting bitter ass tea, and I'm not really sure what's going on here. No, it's not the tea. It's not the tea. I can taste the tea leaves, and it ain't that. I don't know, man. Something's going on in here, and I don't like it. I feel like I love my mom, but she just assumes that I like all tea, and so sometimes she absolutely hits, and it'll be like a really good tea, and I'm like, this is surprising. I can't believe that you picked this particular tea. Crazy. And then sometimes she's like, here's this random flavor of tea, and I'm like, oh no. And I think that this was one of those times. Hey, 10 stream streak. You're on a 10 stream streak. I love that for you. How does it feel? Got this expression. Christ. Alright. Yeah, you'd think it'd be good, right? Yeah, you'd think that there'd be nothing weird about it. And in theory, there shouldn't be. It's just dried goji berries, dried strawberry, and like oolong. So you'd think. I'm not really sure what happened. I to be honest, I don't know. Something developed a lot of tannins though, and I think that that's what's going on. So I'm not sure if it's the strawberry bits that fermented weird and then did some funky shit. Like they're dried, but they could be like tanniny as fuck, and I don't know what's going on. The only way to save this is by putting some of the, I think, creamer in this tea. Normally I don't like to do that unless it's a black tea, but in this case, I think it's the only thing that will save it is the tea. I'm trying to think of anything else exciting that's happened to me since yesterday, other than figuring out that maybe I might be accidentally Canadian, which is absolutely insane. That's gonna rock my world for the rest of fucking forever. If my dad can figure this out, I'm never coming back to the US, I swear to God. I'm out of here. The US would have to engage in the glow up of a fucking lifetime. It would have to be like what happened to Germany after World War II, where they just like fucking became actually like really invested in people's happiness, and then they just like kind of just rocked for a second. And now they have a bunch of like universal fucking healthcare and crazy shit over there. I feel like that would be what would have to happen. We'd have to become Germany. I will yeet myself into Maple Syrup Town. is not what I want. Or that, actually. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what I'm doing with my life, you know? And actually, I know what happens to me. Me actually, hold on. I'm gonna just shh. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. The other funny thing that happened yesterday is that they sent out an email to all of the REMCAD students, or REMCAD teachers, pardon me, being like, hey, so you need to, like, actually contact students if they have, like, you know, failing grades, or D's or lower, and you need to make sure that they're not, like, fucking dying. And I'm like, interesting theory, REMCAD, but what happens? What happens if you as the teacher try to, reach out to the student, like, 3 times in a row? Or more in some cases, and then they never contact you back? I'm assuming that they're seeing that about 1 million kids are failing this summer semester so far, and then are like, hey, you have to make sure that your students are alive. But I'm like, what do we do if they just don't fucking submit anything? Like, how does that become the teacher's problem? You know, if you're doing everything that you can to reach out to the student and try and get them to go, it's like, we can't make the students, like, fucking decide that they care about school, you know? So that's funny. That was funny to me. I'm actually, like, kind of high-key glad that I'm not gonna be doing that. Yeah, what if they don't like us? It's more like, I was trying to explain this to my friend. Hold on, let me find exactly what I said over here. Hold on. This is what I said. I said, when I first started teaching a few years ago, things were way better, but I genuinely think the mental health crisis for people is getting so bad that it's affecting everything in their lives. It's kind of hard to focus on school when the world is blowing up and gas is like $6 and you can't buy groceries, etc. Like, I normally never receive negative feedback as a teacher, and the last student surveys I got, so that would have been for spring B, one kid's response to literally every question was, you know, when they are asking, like, hey, you know, is there anything to improve about the class, or do you think anything could be done to make this better? Their response was, no, there's nothing to improve, because what's the fucking point, quote unquote, like, legit. And it wasn't directed at me as the teacher, because they were giving me fine reviews. They were like, the teacher tried, and then everything else was just like a really bad response. But that student legit just didn't submit any assignments at all and then failed. So I kind of think that that's just where everyone is at. And it's like, I can literally see people suffering, and then you throw life on top of the global macro things that they can't control, and it just results in kids failing because they are literally so depressed that they open up the online, like, school portal and then immediately close it. But, like, on our end as teachers, or even as, like, the mental health counselor for the school, we can't help the students if they don't fucking reach out. And so it's like, what are we supposed to fucking do? And so, like, I don't even know. At this point, I'm like, bro, what do you, like, the dean was like, we need to do something. And I'm like, well, maybe you need to, like, actually increase resources, mental health resources for students so that they're not fucking dying. Maybe you need to actually have affordable classes. Maybe offer more resources for students. Maybe don't have your classes be 8-week fucking semesters, because that literally goes so fast that people get whiplash and they don't learn. Maybe lower the cost of tuition. Maybe offer students food assistance. Maybe actually have connections, industry connections that will get students jobs after they graduate, and don't do what they, like you did to me, which was literally tell me that the only job available in my area for the arts industry was fucking UPS. I'm like, there's so many things that you guys could be doing. It's not up to the teachers to fucking fix this problem. It's like, your guys' business model is just shit. It's crazy. But yeah, I really do feel like people are suffering, though. And, like, effectively all I can do as a teacher is, like, give people as much you know, grace as I possibly can, extend deadlines, you know, let people turn stuff in late without pulling too many points, things like that. But that's all I can do. You know, like, I can't make a person submit. So for the school to be like, this is up to you guys, I'm like, is it though? I'm like, maybe pay for students to have fucking healthcare, because if they're showing that they're having like a mental health emergency, like, do something about it. You silly, silly gooses. So that's funny. I thought that was silly. To try and put the onus entirely on the teachers is that's an interesting move. I'm very glad that I'm not going to be teaching there anymore. At the end of August, I will be finally fucking free. I just feel bad because I know that there are so many students who would literally just like explode if they could have that opportunity, and then instead we have kids that don't submit work or turn in fucking AI. I'm like, guys, why? Why? Yeah, so that's funny. That's silly to me. I'm very tired about that shit. Very excited to not have to do it anymore. Otherwise, my Kickstarter hit, or my backer kit rather, hit 40 followers, or not 40 followers, 40 backers, which is pretty fucking sick. So that's a thing. I'm very excited about that. That makes it the most backers I've ever had on a campaign ever, which is crazy. I just have like emotional whiplash. I'm so tired. I watched our president fucking walk out of an interview and stomp on the lapel mic as he was leaving. So I'm like, that's cool. Yeah, true, true. Yeah, we have a mental health counselor at REMCAD, but like I think online students, so we're running into a problem. This is an interesting thing. So we're running into an issue, and like I shared an article into I think the Gen chat a couple days ago about why reading books is important. But like there were teachers in that Forbes article who are teaching their college level students, right? And or college level teachers, and they were talking about how they legitimately are having students show up to college level classes being unable to read a sentence. And like I wish that that was an exaggeration, but what they mean is like, say for example you have an assignment and you're in like a reading comprehension or like a literature class, right? And the maybe the poem is, I'm gonna try and pick something that's not like super crazy. Road Less Traveled, Robert Frost. Let's say it's Road Less Traveled by Robert Frost. This is a pretty popular, a Road Not Taken, pardon me, Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. Let's say that it's this poem and that's what they're working on, right? And so, like, this poem is not necessarily the craziest, most symbolic or most metaphoric poem ever, right? We have two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both and be one traveler. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Right? It's literally just describing a guy standing at a fucking crossroads and looking down one side. There's not really a lot going on. But Robert Frost has this habit of doing this is one really long sentence, right? And so we're talking teachers are having students come in and they're unable to read this. They look at it and they go, I don't know what I'm looking at, right? If you were to ask them, well, who's the subject? They go, I guess I. Okay, well, where are they? I don't know. I don't know. And so what are you supposed to do as a teacher? Right? So they're like physically unable to like actually even read the assignments, right? So that's like 90% of what I deal with as a teacher, where I'm having students like the directions are draw a circle in Photoshop, and the students are like, which program do I use? What am I supposed to draw? And I'm like, bro, the directions were literally draw a circle in Photoshop. What do you mean? What do you mean? Which program do you use? What do you mean? Like, what are you supposed to do? You demon! So, like, that's kind of where we're at, right? And these aren't students that have, like, a letters of accommodation, right? So these aren't students with disabilities. These are like, standard run-of-the-mill, like, they just came out of fucking high school students. So really scary. So I think what's happening is that these students have all these resources, like the mental health counselor, but they are so unable to find the information for themselves that, like, I as a teacher am effectively having to hold their hand, contact their student advisor, contact the mental health counselor, get the mental health counselor to contact the student, right? And meanwhile, I'm supposed to be also working with 20 other students, actually sometimes up to 40 students, all at the same time. And then now it's gone from me having to, like, teach to me having to be a literal babysitter for kids. It's fucking bananas, guys. It's crazy. Also, hi, Gabriel. I hope you have a nice time at the dentist. I fucking hate the dentist. Oh, it's fucking crazy, though. Speaking of weird dentist news, what the fuck? Okay, so my whole life I've had what I like to call English swamp mouth. European, but particularly English people, British people swamp mouth. So I got very unlucky, and I have genetics that make the pH in my mouth naturally high, which means that I'm more prone to cavities. Everything is chill. Most of the time I can handle it with very specific like toothpaste and stuff. Totally fine, totally fine. Over the last, like, 5 years, every time I go to the dentist, my poor dental hygienist is like, "Are you flossing?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, of course I'm flossing. And I do. I floss every single day with a floss pick. So for her to be like, "Are you actually flossing? Like, what is going on?" I was like, "Well, what do you mean?" And she's like, "Well, your gums are just hella inflamed and they are very upset. And it looks like you're not flossing." And I was like, "Why? You know, that's crazy." Last time I went to the dentist, which was like a couple days ago, right? Or last week, right? She looks at my mouth and she's like, "Oh my God, your teeth are perfect." And I'm like, "Well, what the fuck happened?" Because I didn't switch toothpastes. I didn't change mouthwash. I didn't do anything different. The one thing that I fucking did was get off that other seizure medication that made me have, like, the massive fucking withdrawal around Christmas last year. That shit, apparently, I did a quick Google and I was like, what are the chances of this being a real thing? I did a Google and found that that medication is known for making your mouth ultra fucking inflamed. So in other words, my gums were bleeding because of the seizure medication that I was on. So, like, what the fuck? So, the evil has been defeated, I guess. It was fucking up my estrogen levels. It was making my HRT ineffective. It was fucking up my mouth. It was making it so that I couldn't wake up until, like, 11 a.m. because it was such a strong fucking sedative. Like, what even? So yeah, that medication is the devil. That's all that I learned. Literally the worst. So yeah, now my teeth are fine. Long story short, I survived. But I hope the dentist is, like, normal. You know, it's like just regular old dentist shit. I don't want to do the work today. I have to grade more assignments. Speaking of school, speaking of things that I have to do. Make a bunch of ads. I don't want to do it. I'm hoping that with the power of God and anime on my side that I can hit this stretch goal. I wonder what the backer tracker says about my my current stretch goal, actually. Where I'm at. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think Wukong goes to the dentist. Yeah, he's like, fuck that shit. I think if somebody tried to stick his hand in his mouth, like a hand in his mouth, he'd be like, "I want to murder you." Like, but to be fair, I think he just takes really good care of himself all the time. Like, he's probably, like, really intense about his, like, teeth health and stuff because of like, hygiene. So I imagine that he's actually got great teeth. In this comic, he does have to go to the eye doctor at one point because somebody blows some shit into his eyes and then he can't see. So that's a thing that happens. What is the dialogue here? I'm gonna change this dialogue line, I think. Wukong in glasses. Yeah, no, he got some weird. It was the Yellow Wind King. He got some shit in his eyes, and then the eye doctor is like, I'm gonna need like eye surgery. It's gonna take you several months to heal from this because he's under the assumption that Wukong is a normal demon. He's like, just give me the eye drops and let me leave. Like, I hurt. I got sand in my eye. They feel like Wukong is actually super good at logistics and at math. Like he is a like military general, you know. So like at the very minimum, he might not be good at like taxes or like accounting or anything like that, but he's definitely very very smart. Like he's a great problem solver and really good at like organizing massive amounts of logistics and people. So that's pretty cool. You know that moment when you have like an eyeball and you don't really like it? There you go, better. A little town in the USA. Yeah, he's super fucking smart. And I think that that's what also makes like him such of a pain in the ass for the Jade Emperor is that like I think the Jade Emperor is used to people being pretty obedient and they don't really question the status quo. You know, things are just the way that they are because they are the way that they are, and that's all that there is to it. But Wukong is the guy who asks, "Well, why? Why?" You know, and the Jade Emperor's like, "Well, because." That's just the way that it's always been, because you're supposed to listen to me because I'm the Jade Emperor. You're supposed to do these things because those are the laws of heaven. You're supposed to be this way because, and he's like, well, why, literally why, and that shit hits the fan and it's like, oh. He's that kid that's sitting in the back of the car who's asking, are we there yet, like 18 times in a row, and the dad's like, if you don't shut up, I will fucking throw something at you back there. I will kick you. Like, he is the kid who's in the back of the car who's got his little brother's hand and he's like slapping the little brother with his own hand and he's like, why are you hitting yourself? Like that's it. That's the energy. Yeah, totally. Exactly, Gabriel. Yeah, no, that's really Wukong's whole point. And it's tough because I feel like the entirety of Journey to the West is a commentary on how you can't change the nature of certain things, but you can cope with the nature. You know, so in the same way that the demons are trying to figure out how to not be evil little pieces of shit because it's in their nature to be evil or to be aggressive or to be violent, you know, you can work with them to change that nature and to make them better people. But in the same sense, like Wukong in Norse or in Chinese mythology is like the equivalent of the Titans in Greek mythology, where the Titans are not necessarily good or evil. They just are. You know? They're forces of nature that can't really be controlled. So, to ask, for example, an earthquake to not shake the ground directly goes against its nature. It can't. That's like asking the sky to not rain or the sun to not rise. You know, and that's really what's being asked of Wukong. Is it's like, well, don't do that, and it's like, well, but that's my nature. That's my job. So understanding, I think the Buddha needs like he figures out eventually how to like focus the chaos and use Wukong as a cannon, you know, direct him in the right direction. But that takes a lot of time. It's like using an obsidian blade. It's insanely sharp and insanely good at what it does, but also under the slightest pressure, the thing will break. So you have to be really smart about knowing how to use the weapon and how to defend yourself against that kind of a weapon, you know? It's interesting shit. An American Lama actually was just inducted. Speaking of Buddhism, he was from, I think, like Chicago or something, and it's like one of the first times I think that an American has been chosen as a lama, not the Dalai Lama, but a lama just in general. So now he studies. He's in Kathmandu and he's studying Buddhist scripture. He's like 19, I think. It's really fucking cool. It's really impressive. He seems like a genuinely super cool dude. He's really into like Grand Theft Auto as a Buddhist, which I do think is super funny. Yeah, I think part of it is patience, and then part of it is trying to stopping trying to force something to be something that it's not. Because the Buddha's lesson is not really like, don't do that, because that's really where the Jade Emperor, I think, is at fault. He's like, hey, well, I want this monkey to stop doing this shit, and the Buddha says, well, it's not that he needs to stop, it's that he needs to redirect. We need to take the movement of the arrow and move it forward. You know, instead of trying to make the arrow a bird, we need to point the arrow in the right direction, you know. Teach the arrow to fly straight is effectively the message there, you know. And that does take a lot of patience, I guess, but mostly on Wukong's end it just takes a shift in perspective. And that's the thing that he struggles with the most throughout this entire story, I think, is understanding that other people don't view the world in the same way that he does, and that he has to change his method in order to be effective. Also, good luck, Gabriel. I hope that the dentist goes well. I like actually low-key had an emotional moment like leaving my dentist because I've been with them for like 5 years and the people at the dentist office are like legit the nicest people on the fucking planet, and I'm so sad because now I won't have a dentist that sounds like Rue from Despicable Me anymore. It makes me sad. My dentist was from Romania. He's great. But I have to go say goodbye to my dental hygienist because she's actually, or not the hygienist, the front desk lady, because she's fucking so nice. Her name is Tracy. Yeah. Now, Journey to the West is a really interesting philosophical piece. It's got a lot of great lessons, and I can see why it's such a culturally impactful piece. I don't think that America really has anything like that. Like, we don't have any big cultural pieces that are an epic like that. I feel like the closest that we have in a modern context now is Hadestown. Not necessarily as like the musical, but as the folk opera specifically. But then the question is like, is that truly an American cultural piece because it was written by a woman from Tennessee, or is that just another adaptation of something that was like really impactful, because it is a rework of like the Orpheus and Eurydice story, so maybe that doesn't even really count. Maybe, you know what, the closest thing that we might have in the US might actually be Star Wars. It's not my favorite piece of media in the world, but I think that that might be the thing that has the closest comparison in terms of like spiritual or religious impact. And while Star Wars is not directly affiliated with any specific religion, it has a lot of like really intensely religious themes to it. So maybe is Star Wars Journey to the West? Is Star Wars our Journey to the West? It might be. Or alternatively, The Lord of the Rings. Actually, wait. No, that might be it. But even then, that's I guess as a Western example, Tolkien is he's British, but just Western overall, maybe that would be our closest comparison. Kind of interesting. Is this where I go and write a paper titled The Lord of the Rings is the modern Western Journey to the West, and then make a bunch of people really angry. I don't know enough about the philosophy behind Lord of the Rings. I'd have to do a lot of research. I've never read Lord of the Rings myself. So I'd have to like sit down. If I ever go back to get a doctorate in literature, that's going to be my fucking thesis. The philosophical and cultural impact of the Lord of the Rings as Journey to the West. I can't. Stop. That's crazy. I know I can't. I gotta chill out. That's how I end up accidentally writing a 33-page fucking paper on this thing. Okay. She's like, why are you like this? He's like, because I like it. I feel like summing up Journey to the West is that one series of vines where that guy is like, I was looking for my berries. I did not find my berries, but I found these. Like, I think about that vine a lot, and I'm like, that's the content. Is that guy looking for his fucking berries. Snack time! Oh my god, we got snacks. I had a bagel, but let me go get some. I don't know. Do I want like a cheese stick, or do I want trail mix? I think trail mix is really the reasonable answer here, as that actually gives me food. That's an actual food substance. Last night we had sushi, and it was really good. What I want is inari. That's what more inari. I think it has to do with the protein bomb from the tofu, but I've been craving inari like crazy. But not regular tofu, not edamame, just inari specifically, and I don't know what it did to me. Let me finish this up and then I'll go grab a snack. A snackaroo. I realized the other day people are like, how do you feel? How have you been lately? And I think the best comparison that I have is Bibble from the Barbie movies. People are like, how you doing? And I'm like, Bibby doo! Whatever the fuck Bibble is. Particularly smooth jazz Bibble. Mom made some jelly. Oh, jelly desserts. Nice. What kind of jelly desserts do you have? Is it like jelly candy, like Turkish delight texture? Because what we have in the US is just jello, so like that's not probably nearly as appetizing or the same thing. Oh, and I did see your message, Carol. I promise I'll get back to it after I get done streaming. This morning was just low-key kind of crazy with my work schedule, but I did see your message. But if you want to like talk job and career stuff, if it won't stress you out too bad, I can try my best to give advice, and it may actually be better for me to give it via like video message or voice message, just because it's kind of a complicated topic and it can be difficult to like articulate in just like text messages, I guess. Oh, interesting. That sounds good. Yeah, here in the US we have similar desserts. It's like my favorite one that my grandpa used to make was called Watergate salad, which is kind of funny because there's a massive political scandal in the US also called the Watergate scandal. We don't talk about it. But this is actually made out of jello. It looks ridiculous, but I fucking love this stuff. It's so ridiculous. It's mostly like Cool Whip and coconut, pistachios, and pistachio jello powder all whipped together with marshmallows into whatever monstrosity this is. It's like eating a cloud. It's so good. So good. Oh, also, we got to hydrate, we got a posture check, we got a stretch, and we got shrimp heaven now. Okay, let me go get the lovely trail mix. I will be right back. I came back with the trail mix. Yeah, that's interesting. No, that sounds super good. Yeah, the U.S. is notorious, I think, for what I would call absolutely bonkers Jello salads from the 50s, and I don't know why we are like this. Oh yeah, it's 100% pure sugar, Carol. 1,000%. There is absolutely nothing about it that is a salad. I don't know what was going on in the 1950s in America, but like there are like so many weird dessert salads, but Watergate's my favorite. It reminds me of my grandpa a lot. American dessert Jello salad. Yeah, there's so many of them. Because there's Watergate right there. Oh, actually, this is a green Jello salad, so this one would be lime. You've got, yeah, orange gelatin salad. At least this has pieces of fruit in it, so that looks like less bad. Yeah, this is a lime Jello one with cherries, but most of them are very, very sugary. Here's a strawberry one. I haven't really eaten them a lot. Sometimes people make fun stuff like this. This is called a pretzel salad. So you have like a layer of whipped cream on the bottom, hard crunchy pretzels, and then you have a layer of Jello, and then another layer of Jello, and then whipped cream. So there's like a bunch of different variations of this. But these typically come from the Midwestern United States, so that's like the center around the Great Lakes area, kind of. But yeah, I blame the 50s for this, 1,000%. It produced some of the weirdest desserts of all fucking time. I don't know what was going on in the 50s. All the people survived the Great Depression, and then they were like, but what if, guys, what if we just mixed 18 cups of Jello and Kool-Aid together? Yeah, we don't do as much meat or fish aspects over here, because I love, I've had, like, Russian-style aspic salad. I like that a lot. I think it's really great. Or if I get, like, pate with aspic, I like that a lot, too. I think that that's less common. Most of the time, the aspics that were made over here were definitely not designed after, like, Eastern European foods, and they were just fucking monstrosities. Like, they were meant to be put on the table, but you didn't really eat them. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they were there for effectively decoration and to show off wealth. So, like, well, it's tough, because, like, this I could see eating. That would be okay. But I think about stuff like this, where I don't think people were actually eating this. You know? Like, this one would not be so bad. I like this with, like, the big tomato chunks in it, because I could see slapping this onto a sandwich with a couple of cold cuts and some butter, maybe, like with a brown bread, and it would probably be okay. But, like, I'm concerned about this. Like, that scares me. This? Oh my god. No! It's so good. Why? 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 Oh my god, they're so horrifying. Yeah, so I don't, because, like, I think, like, this, for example, this is a good example. So we have avocados here stuffed with probably a chicken salad, and then the aspic ring is the center. This is literally just decoration. This is the actual food. This is just decoration. So I don't think anybody was actually, like, eating that at all. I think about, like, this is what I'm familiar with, right? Like, this is like a Russian style aspic, or this one too. Yeah, so this is typically what I'm familiar with, is like these kinds of dishes, and this is something that I would eat. But like, yeah, no, it is not common for Americans to eat these foods. By the way, like, the dessert ones, absolutely, but like the aspic Jello, like, I have never ever in my life, like, none of my family members have ever been like, hey, you want this turducken octopus thing? Like, that's just never happened. So I don't think people really, like, they made it for funsies, but like, I don't think Americans like this. Like, I've never had my grandma, for example, ever try and serve me this. But I love Eastern European style aspics. They're so good. And I also love meat tartare as well. Like, any kind, like steak tartare is great. Raw fish tartare is wonderful. So, I do eat, like, I guess what I typically consume, what most Americans would consider unusual. Like, I had a grasshopper taco a couple of weeks ago, so like that's not considered typical American food. That's strange. That's like Mexican cuisine, but like, it's not strange for other places. But Americans here are pretty not they're not exploratory at all. It is a miracle if you can get like an American to actually eat like food, like real people food. Not gonna lie, it's rough. I think it's getting better as people become more globalized. But like I think about how my aunt Karen, yeah, I have an actual aunt Karen. So there's that. But like my aunt Karen, her go-to food was a bologna and cheese sandwich. No lettuce, no vegetable, no butter on the bread, no nothing. Just bologna and cheese, not toasted. American cheese. That's it. There's nothing else on it. Or like I think about going with my other aunt to Tokyo Joe's, which is like a kind of like a fast casual Japanese restaurant. And like I'm typically getting a bowl that's got like dark meat chicken and pineapple and macadamia nuts and curry sauce and peanut sauce and teriyaki and lots of vegetables and like all of these things. Fruit, also throw some fruit in there. And then my aunt is like, I want just steak and white rice. Nothing else. No sauce, no vegetables, like nothing. And that is like the I think quintessential. I was raised in America in the 1960s, 70s kind of experience where they just don't fucking eat anything. And it's really weird. It's super weird. And then, you get weird racism where like even certain like Central or Eastern European foods become quote weird, right? So you'd have Americans who are like looking at something like vadianiki or like pierogi, and they'd be like, "That's gross." And it's like, well, what's gross about it? It's a potato and like meat dumpling. Like, what is gross about this or weird? And like, the only thing that makes it weird to them is that they're like, "Oh well, I've never had it before, so I'm not gonna eat." It's like, what do you mean? Like, why are you like this? Really weird. Yeah, and like Polish American, like like I guess cultural groups here are really strong. So if you go to places like New York, any kind of cities that have really strong Polish American communities are going to have really good strong restaurants and like markets. Like here in Denver we have a bunch of Polish markets, and you can go and buy kielbasa or other cold cuts or canned goods, like things like that. But most of the people that are going to go in there are going to be Polish or have Polish parents or have Polish grandparents. It's not like going into the Ukrainian market, for me is really funny because I'm in there for like kolbasa or like for pickles like salat or for other stuff. And then everybody in there is like, people are looking at you expecting to speak Russian or Ukrainian with you, and then you don't, and they're like, what the fuck is this American doing in here? Like, what the fuck are they here? And I'm like, shh, feed me your head cheese. Give me the good shit. I want that, please. But yeah, we I don't think compotes are very popular to be served here at all. Um and it's tough because I've had compote at like a Ukrainian restaurant, and it's hard because the I think the closest thing that we would have here in the US would be like an agua fresca from like Mexico. And to be fair, I think actually most American fruit juices would be considered compote because we mix our like fruit concentrate or like our fruit preserves with sugar. So if you're buying a regular fruit juice, it's like a whole branding thing for a juice company to be like, well, this is 100% juice. This doesn't have any other added ingredients, because it's really common in the US for people to put added sugar or other things into fruit juice. So I think most of the juices that Americans would have been consuming probably before 2010 would be considered compote just because they're mixed with additional sugar. So it's kind of weird. I don't know what Americans got going on, to be honest. Like, it's just kind of one of those things. I'm not saying we did it right. Everything here is fucked up. Yeah, I love
pierogi. I haven't had a lot of pierogi. I eat more like varianiki or like boiled dumplings. I guess pierogi can be boiled too. But yeah, boiled dumplings are more my jam. The pierogi that are served here in the US are more often than not fried. It's kind of hard to find like boiled, just like straight boiled pierogi. You can get them in the freezer section and then you like fry them on the stove. But even then, that's like I think there's like one brand in my area that produces like freezer pierogi. It's kind of hard to find them. And then they're labeled as pierogis. We've had this conversation before. Oh, fucking crazy. Yeah, I love tartars. I like you know, I don't know. My mom always called me adventurous, and it's like when I go, I guess when I go places, I'm looking to try things that are as culturally authentic as possible. You know, so if I'm in a French restaurant and they're serving me like frog legs or escargot, I'm gonna eat it. If I'm in a Chinese restaurant and again they're giving me frog legs or joe duck or like other stuff that is not necessarily as traditional, like tripe or intestine or things like that, I'm just gonna fucking eat it. You know, but most Americans are not like that. I was called weird as a kid growing up eating this thing called scrapple, which I absolutely love. Actually, scrapple is goated, but it's very similar to like British like black pudding. It's a type of sausage, and it has cornmeal in it. So rather than like a traditional black or white, I guess it would be closer to a white pudding. Rather than oats, it's cornmeal, but it's fucking delicious. It's like some of the best sausage of all time. I like or breakfast meat. I guess I couldn't really call it a sausage because it's definitely not. But like as a kid, I would be like, "You guys want to come over to my house and have some pancakes and scrapple?" And then every child in my vicinity was like, "The fucking what now?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't know. My grandma is like really German, but also somehow simultaneously really really white. I don't know how this happened to me. She married a Mexican. I don't know. I don't know." Yeah, I'm excited actually to move to Vancouver because I believe that the like oh, he doesn't have a bun in this panel. I believe that the like amount of Eastern European foods are much higher. French food also. There's a lot more French restaurants in the area, which is really exciting. So I should be able to try more stuff. There's a Tanzanian restaurant that's right across from my apartment, and I'm like, let me in. I want to know how your samosas are different than Indian samosas. Teach me your ways. Now I want pierogis. Wait a second. I want to go to pierogis factory. I want the pierogi. I have to drive to the scary part of Denver to go to pierogi factory though, or rather pierogi's factory. It fucks me up. I don't know why Americans are like this. I don't know why we butcher every single word from every other fucking language. We destroy all things. Colonize the fuck out of shit. It's not good. Like it's hard watching Korean cuisine become popular here because like I'm sure it's painful for every H Mart employee to have a kid come in and be like, "Hey, do you guys have the K-pop Demon Hunters long sushi?" Like I'm sure a Korean person has an aneurysm every time that happens, and then they have to be like, "Well, it's called kimbap and it's not long sushi." Yes, we have it, and yes, it's all sold out. I was bullied pretty heavily as a kid for bringing like sushi with me to elementary school. Like it's really hard for me as an adult thinking about those times because now the things that I really like that made me literally get fucking bullied into the ground are super popular, and it's like anime for example, or like Japanese food or East Asian food in general, and it's like, oh, sucks to suck, I guess. Born too early to be cool. Very weird. But I think overall Americans are just super uneducated as to like even where things come from. So to some degree it's like you're having to really oftentimes over-explain to people why it's not okay to, like, for example, take a fucking fork and smash the shit out of sushi. Or, like, how it's not cool to, like, or, like, if you go to an Ethiopian restaurant and you ask for a fork, you know, it's like, it's kind of disrespectful. Like, don't do that. Just eat it with your hands like everybody else, you know? But Americans are pretty racist, so we have a lot of that issue as well. I'm excited to go to a place that is not as racist. I don't want to be here no more. They found out that Christopher Columbus is not Italian, and I'm pretty sure every American is gonna, like, explode. That was a recent, like, genetic discovery that happened. And I'm really ready for the outroar, or the outrage, and the roaring, rabid crowds of Italian Americans who were very attached to Christopher Columbus and then are no longer allowed to claim him because he wasn't fucking Italian. Being in America is like dealing with the most rabid fandom of all time. Like, think of the most toxic fandom you possibly can. Like, the first thing that came to my mind was actually, like, the Hazbin Hotel fandom. No offense if you like Hazbin. This is not on you. This is on the fandom. Or, like, the Homestuck fandom to some shit, or, like, to some extent, right? And telling them that you don't like something about their fandom, and then they just fucking attack you. Crazy. Yeah, Columbus was Spanish. They've confirmed that now with DNA, but the common narrative here in America was that he was an Italian that was living in Spain. So a lot of Italian Americans are like, "Oh, he's like a really important historical figure to Italians, and we have Christopher Columbus Day and we celebrate him as a figure," which I don't know why you'd want to celebrate somebody who killed like millions of people, but that's like beside the point. And now it's been found out that he was just a Spanish person living in Italy. He never had any Italian descent. He wasn't an Italian citizen, and it was likely that he was effectively a nepo baby living in Italy. So it's unfortunately going to piss a lot of Americans off. Oh my God, Mr. Bubs, what are you doing, Mr. Bubbert? You can't just come up here and make a badillion biscuits. That's not how this goes. You can't do that. He's like, but I can. You can't tell me what to do. Hello? Mr. Bubs, did you know that when you step on my keyboard, it makes my computer freak out? Did you know that? Did you know? He gets mad at me because when Jace comes home, he wants to go do couch time. And then we can't because I have to work. And he's like, what do you mean we can't go do couch time? I'm sorry, Mr. Bubs. I'm sorry that this happened to you. Oh my gosh, you're such a cute cat. Yes, I can't even be mad at you because you're so cute. He's so adorable. He's the best cat in the whole world. I can't even be angry. Okay, what is the dialogue here? Mr. Bubbert. My cat's so stinky, he doesn't know what's going on. Oh yeah, whoops, I can't forget that I need to go and do this, actually.
He's such a little guy. I wish I could be in whatever happy place Mr. Bubs is in. He's like constantly so happy. And I wish that I was him. Mr. Bubbert, aren't you so sweet? I love my cat so much, guys. He's the most perfect cat to ever exist. I don't know how to deal. The cute aggression, it's taking me over. Oh, it's 12:30. If you haven't gotten a snack yet, please do. Snacks are good for you. Sir, please lay down. I need you to sit your booch down. Sit your little boot down. He just wants to aggressively make biscuits on me. Sir, why don't you go bother your other dad? If you want lunch, go bother your other dad. There you go. Okay. I am sore. I went to the gym yesterday. And my body was like, bro, what do you mean? And I'm like, oh. The eye roll of all eye rolls. But yeah, Kara, if you need any help like brainstorming jobs, let me know, you know. Particularly because I recognize it can be difficult to find something that you can you know, work with effectively that doesn't make you want to explode. I recognize the reason that I tend to avoid traditional jobs, quote unquote, is because of my history with PTSD and neurodivergence just in general. So for a while, because I tend to hit the I guess part of the spectrum for autism and ADHD that's like I'm very high functioning, very low needs, and so people oftentimes would give me a lot of shit for not wanting to work jobs or not wanting to go and do like normal quote traditional things, not understanding that if I go and put myself in those environments, I legitimately will want to explode. It would be more damaging for my mental health to go and try and force myself into that kind of a job than it would be to just do something else, to like do something non-traditional. And I've been getting shit for it my whole life effectively. But like I'm very lucky that I have a dad who is also probably very neurodivergent and super stubborn. And he has been a great resource for me in being able to pick like a more non-traditional career as well. So I might be able to give some advice on that. I don't know what the job market is like in your country, so that's like the only downside of that, but I can at least give some relative advice. I am locked in. I will get this page done today. I've been like so overwhelmed with the like
backer kit stuff that I'm like, I don't even know what's going on. Okay. My eyes are so fucking dry. I am so crispy. Okay. I'm so also excited to not have to live in a place that is literally the crusty, like, desert 24/7. But we're also in a drought, so, like, there is that, I guess. I just don't want to be in a drought no more. I'm excited for humidity and not constantly dying. Speaking of being crusty, everybody should hydrate. Cal, I can't even tell you how much water I drink and how much it doesn't matter here. It's so bad. It's so crispy. I don't like this line, actually. I'm about just over halfway through this cup of tea. No me gusta esto. Hold on. There we go. Oh, God. Oh, my God. My hands. Flames let it rain over Washington. I don't even know if I'm allowed to listen to this music. If the feds come for me, you guys, you know what the fuck happened. I would pay real money to go see Grandson again, though, actually. I don't know if I would see him again in the US just given the nature of fucking how things are going, but like I would definitely go and see him again. I wonder if he's popular outside of the United States. I'm like, does he resonate with other people? Or is this just like this is an American thing? Oh my god. I wish to sleep for 40,000 years. I'm just so, like, I'm so fucking exhausted. Oh, he has no shoulder. Whoop. Whoopsie. Not bad. Oh, yeah, wait. 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 You want to know what I forgot? Hold on. He's holding a shirt. My bad. I almost fucking forgot it. My bad. Mr. Bubber, what is this nonsense that you're engaging in over here? Mr. Bubber, I'm gonna need you to chill at... Oh my god, Mr. Bubs. Why are you... He's just standing next to me, standing up like a little meerkat, and he's like digging his claw into my leg. Oh god. Alright, well come here. You wanna come back? Come here. Come on. Come on. Oh my god, you're so graceful. Why are you so graceful? Why are you so graceful? Alright, we're alright. I almost forgot this whole hand. And actually, this is not... Hold on. Mr. Bubs, you're standing directly in the way of... I can't... I love you so much, Mr. Bubs. Here, kisses. The chat demands kisses. Kisses, but I need you to sit on my lap, and I need you to not jump on my computer. Thank you. Okay, that's better. We're fine. I straight up forgot that he was holding a shirt. I remember last time explicitly, I was like, I can't forget that he has this shirt. Mr. Bubbard, I forgot. He's such a lovey-dovey little cat. He doesn't know what's going on.
Me neither, dude. You don't even know that you're gonna be a sky cat. We've been telling him that the last couple of days that he's gonna be in the sky and he has no idea what's going on. Zooted in the sky. Doesn't even know. Mr. Bubbard, I hope that you know that if you're sitting like this on me, it's very difficult for me to draw and do this at the same time, and you're making my leg fall asleep. I don't know if you know that this is a real thing that's happening. Oh, whoops. You want to know what else? He also has that stupid shirt over here, too. Mr. Bubbard, I almost forgot about the shirt. That would have been silly Billy, wouldn't it? That would have been so dumb. Really annoying is what that would have been. Damn shirt. Looted shirt. There we go. Okay, much better. So now, Mister, can you not burp on me? Thank you. You're such a nasty cat. This cat is nasty, guys. He's so gross. Like, uber gross. It's not his fault. He's just like that sometimes. He didn't know. He doesn't know better. All he knows is that he's just a man. I'm gonna probably have to paint in little details. Yes, Mr. Man, I know that you love the looking at the drawing monitor. Coloring is his favorite part. He'll just stare at it. He's very excited. I've discovered that his favorite thing to watch is Animal Crossing. He also really likes cat TV, but he's especially excited about Animal Crossing. Wukong tried to leave my Animal Crossing island, and I had to veto it. Can you sit down on my lappy? Is it because there's no good place to sit or lay down? Is that what you're upset about? Do you want me to like reposition myself so that you can lay down? Can you lay down? He's like, I don't know how. I'm scared and I don't know what to do. Oh my god. Welcome back from the dentist. How was it? Hopefully not anything crazy. I have to resist everything in my being seeing that dead crab demon on the ground and going, "Hi, crab girl." Aaron Hansen really fucked me up, actually. I feel bad. I'm never gonna be able to escape that. That shit's gonna haunt my brain for the rest of forever.
That's what I get. Oh, something about you, Squilla. Oh, nice. Easy cleaning. Love it when that happens. Very nice. Very nice. Nice and stress-free. It's one of my favorite Gaga albums, actually. Oops. I might go rogue, and we might listen to the new Adam Lambert album right now, actually. I just kind of want to know. Okay, let's see. Character sheets. We need the hair texture for Sean. Throw that over there. The highest compliments I've received for this comic is people are like, oh my god, I love the way that you draw black hair. And I'm like, oh my god, you guys are so nice to me. I'm like, I'm trying my best. I feel like we need way more people of color in shit because I don't know why things are like this. Why? This went rogue in here. It was like, I would like to be in all of the thingies, please. I mean, okay. Drag this down like this. Everything is all fucked up over on the face zone, so I gotta fix it. Everything's all fucked up over on the hand zone. Oh, wait, actually, I gotta make sure I do this right. There we go. Whee! Well, that was super easy. I love it when things are, like, not hard. I want to just, like, sit down on the couch and, like, binge a show or something. I don't really, or, like, I want to play some Overwatch. I don't really want to, like, grade work. I wish I did not feel like this job was, like, pulling teeth. It used to be fun. I do feel bad. And I realize, too, I'm feeling like the same way about PubVendo, where this job used to be fun, and then as soon as AI got more prevalent, suddenly the job is, like, really unfun. And I wish that that was not the case. It used to not be like that. So I'm trying to figure out how to, like, work it through my brain that I'm not, like, super upset with this job. And it's not really that bad, but I think also, too, part of the issue is that I got mad ADHD, and so my brain is like, when are we going to do something new?
And I feel like maybe that's why I'm nervous about getting into the game industry because I got like imposter syndrome and I'm like, I don't know if my art's going to be good enough to make it in there. And then I have to be like, well, wait, like, I'm going to be fine, you know? I'm going to be okay. But it is hard. There we go. Oops. That ain't what I want. You know what? I'm gonna save this like this. I keep having to fucking rotate it every time I put it down. And I don't know why it's taken me probably like hundreds of pages. Hello? Photoshop, please. Oh, cool. Oh, please don't. Buddy, please. I guess I'm probably gonna have to force close Photoshop here. Photoshop. I love how it won't even like close that way. Hi Blades, how you doing? Yeah, you suck, Photoshop. Alright. Ooh, yard work is hard. It's been particularly hot here. Oh, I love how OBS... Can somebody ban that, do we have a mod in here? Is Cal still in here? I cannot ban this. Oh, there we go. It loaded. I was like, I can't ban this bot. Photoshop is freaking out. Oh, don't tell me I have to do that whole... I get to do this whole panel again. I love it. Photoshop is fucking a demon. Oh, there was a bot. I got it. It was whatever untimely philosophy or philosophy X Prodi. AI streamers on Streamboo. Okay, let's go save this out. OBS was having trouble loading because everything was loading all at the same time. Which is, you know, because Photoshop decided it was going to break, all that good shit. Interesting that it... Okay, that was panel 2, huh? Yeah, it just completely decided that it was not going to... Oh, and I actually need to go back and refix this. Okay, well, thankfully that's not really the craziest thing here. I love it when Photoshop crashes. My fave. Okay. Let's do this again. Gross. So lame. Photoshop is a cursed little nugget sometimes. And I don't know what I did to deserve it. But to be fair, Photoshop is a buggy as shit program, actually. Like, It really is not that great of a program. Not gonna lie. But here we are. Alright. You want to know what one of the weirdest symptoms of having chronic anxiety is? Hello? Okay. It's tinnitus. Randomly, my ears will ring. Crazy. Welcome back from ads. Oh my god, my face is so itchy. I love looking at the weird translations from Japanese to English, where you have the name of this character in Japanese is Goking Dedo. Yeah, Goking Dedo. And I love that. But then fucking somehow the transliterator decided that King Deadward was gonna be the translation. Why are guys like this? Why? I was watching somebody have a moment looking at the Japanese translations of like Yu-Gi-Oh character names. They were like, why the fuck did this happen? I can't. But it's fun. It seems like you have a like of more like ghost type characters or like undead characters. A lot of them are very cool. Mr. Bubs, why are you sitting on the ground acting as though I have completely harmed you and your family? He's like, I don't know. What in the Sam hell is this layer? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. Oh my god. I have no idea. It's this little creature. It's a creature. Oh yeah, that character's super popular. Gabunyan, that's cute. I love the little names. That's cute. Yeah, the Nyan types are they're pretty cute. I've seen this character before though, I believe. Still a little vampire though, still kind of fits the undead theme. You can have really cute, like, undead characters though. I feel like Japanese media is particularly good at being like, this thing will suck your blood, but also it's adorable! It's also very cute! Yeah, I don't really know much about, like, Yokai Watch or, like, the lore in general. It's very cool, though. I wish that I had more time to watch anime. Maybe one day when I'm not, like, actively dying. Like, that would be pretty sick. One day. I can dream. I have a dream, and that dream is to one day be able to sit on the couch. That would be pretty baller. Pretty sick, if I do say so myself. I gotta remember that I have to go to the pharmacy and pick up a prescription. I forgot that it was ready. But I can go before 8 p.m. tonight. That'll be alright. I have the power to do that. I don't like having allergies because it makes me feel like, for whatever reason, I have the flu. And then I'm just, like, super exhausted. Kind of just a bummer. It's very strange. Hopefully my allergies will be less bad in Canada as well. I hear that that can happen if you, like, move. It gets, like, better. One day I will know. And that day is apparently in, like, I'm not even shitting you guys, like, literally, like, I think 40 days. I'm moving in 40 days. Or 50 days? No, 50 days. Crazy. I'm so close. I want to go to Crab Hotlow when I get to Canada. I'm gonna go have crab food, and no one can stop me. I am still marinating in the fact that I might accidentally legitimately be a Canadian citizen. I want to explode. This shit's crazy. I would have never expected that that was, like, how that was gonna shake out. Nuts. Wait, I don't need to open anything because it's right here. Joke's on you. Oh, wait. Son of a gun. Wrong layer. There we go. Alright, sorry, I promise I'm not ignoring you. I'm, like, just locked in. Okay. Let me finish up this layer and then I'll take a look. Oh, whoops. Boop. One more. There we go. Wrong layer. Yes, that's me every time. Literally every day, Caro. Every day. Every day. Oh my god, look at him. Look at him in the back. Look at him. Look at him. Cal posted a meme into the Discord that was like, which low-res Pikachu are you today? And I'm like, this is me today. Is this little Draculion guy. That's the vibe. You're just standing in the back minding your own business, you know? If you like vampires with 2 brain cells, by the way, you'd probably like my book, King of Dust. Not a shameless plug on my part. But that literally stars a vampire king with 2 brain cells that barely rub together. He's doing great. There's also a poop-covered gnome that fights crime and solves crime. He's pretty amazing. His name is Clarkloff. He's really gross and he eats children. Oh my god, he's so upset. Wukong is so upset. He's so angry. Boop, beep. Boop, beep, boop, boop. I don't mean to do that. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm a fool. I'm like, I'm gonna go look for this file. It's like, mate, the file's already open. You've done this before. You did this twice now. You little fool. You fool! All right. He's got this shirt that he stole. He's got a shirt that he stole from a guy, and he's gonna wear it because he doesn't care. He does not care. Look at that. Look at that! Okay, let's get some dialogue in here. Showed my journey to the West friends a photo of Wukong from your comic and said, hear me out. I can't. That's so nice, though. He's cute. He is cute. Like, legitimately. I feel like, I don't know. I don't consider myself a furry, but I understand the appeal. Like, and my goal was really to make him handsome. You know, like, there's a reason they call him Handsome Monkey King. And I'm like, okay, well, what does that, what does that look like? As like a human, monkey hybrid, what is that? How do I make him attractive? And this was the solution. Okay, let's get these dialogue pieces in here. Oh, I got 41 backers, guys. Crazy. Somebody backed earlier, I'm assuming. Thank you to whoever backed on the backer kit. I now am at the most backers I've ever had on any campaign ever, so
Thank you. I really do appreciate that a lot. Lots of people back in the ebook this go around, which is crazy, so I've never had that happen. I like how Sean just automatically assumes that they're dead. Not levels, thanks. I have to make sure that this doesn't go up above that. Back issues regular. We don't need that at 150. Oh, or 210. Oh my god. Oh, and I don't want hyphens. Let me see here. I need to turn off hyphenate. Okay, this is fine. We're gonna go like this. This is the unfortunate nature of this kind of a bubble. Actually, I'm just going to kind of drag this over this way, and then we're going to move the text. I'm going to also do this. Yeah. Yeah. Great. I'm going to get a different bubble. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's going. Now we're very, very close. Effectively, the next goal for this thing is to hit 2,000. So we need about 150, just over 150 USD more to get to that point, but we are officially like 92% of the goal. $147 is all that we need more. So, you know, if you know anybody who wants a book, share this link with them, pass it around. That's pretty amazing though. Definitely every milestone I hit is absolutely crazy. So I'm very grateful. I can look at the backer tracker. Let's see. I can look at Court of Snakes. Backer tracker. Yeah, apparently it's thinking... Backer tracker is saying that I might hit over 2,000. So, if we can keep it up, my trajectory could be as high as 2086, or as high as $2,400, as low as 2086. Or as low as 1850. Sorry, that was my bad. I misread. But yeah, the projection trending is 2086. So if we can keep it up, I'm going to probably reshare this into another server, and I'll do that later. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. Definitely did not anticipate that. If we hit 2,000, I think King of Dust was just a touch higher. That was the audiobook. 1900. 1900 was what my last backer kit project, or my King of Dust project hit. That was the highest that I've ever had, was 1900 USD. So $50 more. Oh my god, Mr. Bubber, chill out. $50 more and we'll break that record. Mr. Bub, you're so stinky. Oh, Stinky. Yeah, true. Sorry, I'm talking, sending a quick message to Jace. Reduce suffering. Actually, this is what I'm gonna change this lyric or this dialogue line, not lyric. Pfft, what am I doing? My brain is split pea soup, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Well, all you're watching is a human filled with an inordinate amount of split pea soup. That's who I am. I thought she's just like unloading on him. She's like, "You are dumb. You are so dumb. You are Dumby." Split pea soup actually sounds delightful right now, not gonna lie. I'm gonna make this just a little bit longer. She's like, this did not reduce suffering. Ooh, fish soup! That sounds so cool. I love it. I love it when you get to go to a place that you really like and enjoy special food. I do love that, though. Why you no do this? Why you no become metallic? Thank you. Okay, let me do this one. I'm trying to figure out what's the best option here. Actually... Okay, what if I instead... I might... Do I want to move her? I'm trying to figure out what the best way to... excuse me. Typography sucks, just saying.
There we go. Better. Better. Better.
Better, better, better. There we go. Have you ever been awake for so long that somebody has to tell you or force you to sleep? I've been awake so long that I have hallucinated. So, definitely yes. PTSD's fun. I think the last time that happened to me, I was in high school, but yeah, it was not a good time. Or actually, more often, the more recent medical incident was that I was awake and not sleeping so much that I had several seizures in a row. So like, yeah, I laugh about it because I'm not like, I'm obviously okay, but like, shit can get what brains can do weird shit, guys. Make sure you sleep. Take it from somebody who has their brain do Panic at the Disco 24/7. Don't do that. Don't do that. I need a little Angie Sean over here. Oh yeah, yeah. Your body can freak out if you don't sleep. No, for sure. I've definitely been on the butt end of whatever that is. Definitely, your body can really do some weird shit. Okay, let me open up the little guy. Mr. Bubbert, go eat your food. No, you can't. You can't. What do you want me to do about it, Mr. Bubs? I don't understand. I know you're over here purring and you want me to go somewhere else. I think you want me to take a break and go sit down on the couch, but I don't know how to tell you that I can't. I know, I can't do that. I have work, Mom. I can't. My little bud. Manny. Little buddy. I can't get up. I know. Oh, God. He just wants me to go sit down. And I'm like, I can't. I love this little angry Sean. She's the fucking best. I understand. I get it. Girl, I get it. I like how he's trying to explain this to her like he's explaining basic math. He's like, bro, 2 + 2 is 4. She's like, no. Am I gonna have to lower him down? I might. Oh, I don't want to. I'm gonna actually reduce the redundancy of this dialogue. Because then that way I can make this little bubble shorter. Why would you do this to me? Let me make this skinny. Tube-shaped. There we go. Yeah, okay. Alright, not bad, not bad. Not bad. Making progress. Father, you need rest. I'm like, yeah, I can't. Never be good enough. Oh, what's going on in my head? All of these racing cars. Fast and black and blue and yellow. Toxic thoughts. Better, best, better, yes. Better, yes. Yeah, father, rest. Yeah, no, it's a mood. I hate to do this to Mr. Man, but like,
I defo can't take a break. I have work. This is what work is. I'll take a lunch break eventually, but my main issue is that I do not want to do any of my work after this. If my life could just be doing this as a career and just doing, you know, I actually don't like this. Just doing comics, you know, and like just writing, I would be definitely way happier. Because then I can just make stuff for fun. I envy people like Adam Ellis who have the ability to just like, and I recognize it's not necessarily you know, super easy. It's a lot of work, obviously. You know, he still has to do a bunch of marketing and work really hard to get his career off the ground and consistently promote his products, but I really would take that over working like 4 jobs. Oh my god, why would you do this to me twice, Photoshop? Select both layers, thank you. Not just one. Thanks. Oh, I guess this page is going to be kind of long, not going to lie. This is just a lot of big speech bubbles. Better, 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 best. Better, 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 yeah. I don't know what I want for lunch, though. Maybe I'll have ramen. Anything is a possibility. It's also hot as shit, though, so, like, this is my problem. It's so hot. And I do not wish to, I do not wish to be hot. No more. Mr. Bubs, if you punch over the trash can, I'm gonna be really upset. Do you understand? Do you get it? Don't punch over the trash can. Mr. Bubs, why are you looking at me like that? Oh, he's so sad. He's so sad. He's... Why? Hello? Okay, I also need to change the font size on all of these, actually. I actually need to make this bubble just slightly bigger. Nope. a little bit bigger bubble here too. Nope, just the bubble. Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot of dialogue here. Not gonna lie. All right. Okay, holy God. Alright, so I got about 30 minutes left, which means that I likely can just do the planning for the next page. Which is fine. Sounds like a plan. Mr. Bubber. Okay, come here, Bubs. Come on. Get up here. Get up here. He's like, I don't know. Man, we're at page 284. Crazy. I don't know how many more pages in this chapter there are. There can't be that many. We got 1, 2, 2. 2 more pages. Or no, wait. I'm full of lies. 4 more pages. So that means that next week this chapter will be slowly uploaded. Okay, we got 3 panels. This will be much better. Oh, we got a self-care combo! Oh, I was shrimping real bad. Thank you so much, Gabriel. I needed to sit up. That was a good reminder. Thank you. Everybody sit up nice and straight. Don't be crispy. I actually think I'm going to take this exact panel. I'm going to do this exact panel again and just move her body. So that ain't bad. So let me just duplicate this really quick. I'm going to do this again. So let me actually really quick just move her arm. I need the right angle and the right arm. Let me see if actually in my DAZ model, if I'm in the right angle. Okay, let me see here. Because I'd really like to not, I would love to not have to deal with a weird thing. Okay, let me... Actually, I'm probably gonna have to just Well, let me see what I got. I might be able to, like, just kind of fuck with this arm a little bit and not really worry about that. Alright, hold on there. I promise I will look at whatever that alert is in just a second. Give me just, like, 2 seconds here. I gotta point this finger aggressively. Okay, so effectively what I need to do... Oh, not that. What I need to do is do some crazy shit. Alright, we got a whole quadruple super self-care combo. Everybody hydrate. I'm actually done with my tea, so I should make some more tea. And then I'm gonna eat. Let me grab another... Hold on, get another fistful of trail mix here. Come here, buddy. Nuts, get in me. Okay. Let me grab this arm. I gotta censor the nippy. Let me kind of figure out how I want to dump this on here. Okay, that'll work. Actually, let me do some perspective here, because I think that this is the problem. Yeah, there we go. And then if we free transform this, then this will get nice. Well... maybe this is not what I want. Hold on, I'm suffering a little bit. Not gonna lie. I think that the issue is that the perspective is wrong. So let's try this again. Sorry, this is going to be kind of tricky as I try and manipulate the shit out of this. Because I really would like to not have to draw this twice. Would just be really, really sick. Oh, and that's why. It's because... I see. Okay, I got it.
All right. So we're going to just try and manipulate this as little as possible. Okay. Ignore whatever the hell is going on here. I'm actually going to bring this down a little bit. Did we... why is there no center? Hold on. I really need to do, let's see, view, guides, lock guides. Thanks. This planning portion is like the longest. It feels like it takes forever, but also trying to find references would take forever. So I can't be super mad. I can't be angry. Okay, sorry, give me just a second. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. That's all I gotta say. No me gusta esto. I'll go with this instead. What if I just took a big old nap? What if I just... they call it a dirt nap. I will go to sleep in the moss. I'm gonna do a couple of like really fun breakout panels here, so that way things are kind of interesting. Is the death penalty legal in California? Oh, it has the death penalty, but it's not currently enforced. Interesting that they don't enforce it. It's a weird thing. So I'm gonna have to like change this line because it doesn't matter really at the end of the day. Almost there. Sorry, this is like so annoying. Almost there. And then I'll have like 10 minutes to maybe finish one panel of liner. We'll see how it goes. With models, you can rotate them like banana. What do you mean like banana? What? What do you mean like banana? What? What? I gotta get rid of this booty cheek. Yeah, I am definitely not a Tumblr denizen. I love how both of us are like, what do you mean banana? Bunan? Okay, so let me turn this off really quick, and then I gotta do some interesting, quick, like, modification of this post, or of this pose. Oh my god. I can always tell when I'm starting to get, like, really, really, really tired, because, all of a sudden I stop making sense as my whole ass brain just goes, I'm alright, and then just gives up. It goes, nah, I'm good, bruv, and then just absolutely checks out. It's like, no thanks. I just want to go do Assassin's Creed stuff. I want to play some Overwatch, jump around, smack some people in the head. Although Overwatch lately has become kind of unbearable because people are fucking doing a bunch of, like, provocative ass shit, and that ain't great. Cue the Phoenix Wright meme for this pose. It doesn't help that it's, like, Pride Month. Like, all of the trolls always come out of the woodwork during Pride, and it's, like, it's hard to play because people are fucking homophobic. Okay, not bad. I like it when I don't have to struggle. And actually, that looks pretty good in terms of, like, a quick modification arm. Nailed it. Fuck doing multiple poses. Fuck that shit. I'm not doing it. Work smarter, not harder. She's angrily pointing. It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's all right. I don't want to do adult stuff today. I just want to pack and move to Canada so I don't have to deal with this bullshit no more. La 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 la. Where's that one audio? What is that one TikTok audio? It's not the La 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 song. It's that one that's like la la la, and the person is like, it's really manic. La 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 la. They're fucking freaking out. And then they're screaming right after that.
Streaming intensifies. Boy howdy, I love not having to do any work on this. Oh my god, I do love it. Look at that. Point. Finger. Rage. I love the floating toupee. Oh my god. You save this fucking document because guaranteed it's gonna try some tricky shit. Boardwalk. Oh my god. Look at that. Amazing. No effort. Thank you for the lurk, Chips. When are you moving to Canada? I am moving on July 31st. July 31st. Maybe the 30th, but effectively it's that weekend, that very last weekend in July, first weekend of August. I am very excited. I do not wish to be here anymore. Okay, what is the dialogue here? What is he? She's very, very, very angry. She's experiencing the rage. You know, sometimes when you make shit and it's like the worst line you've ever made in your whole life, you guys ever think about that? Where you're like, wow, this is... holy shit, I definitely drew this line. And then you don't know how that happened to you and why you drew it, and then your brain is just like, I don't know, bro. Also, tell your mom I said hi. Also that. I do not like this eye. You ever just... oh my god. It was just not a good eye. That was what happened to me. My brain short-circuited and it was like, dude, if you draw anymore, I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna just completely short-circuit. That's gonna be it. I'm done. I'm out of here. Hey, thank you so much, Chilla, for the raid. Welcome in. How you doing? Unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I'm actually at the very end of my stream. But it's great to see you. Thank you so much for raiding in. How you doing? I'm gonna finish this panel up and then dip. Everybody should go follow Chilla. A magical chinchilla? Oh my god. Well, welcome in, everybody. Good to see you. Hope you all had a great stream. Wow, my Photoshop is literally having a heart attack. Today's been a weird day, full of many glitches and sadness. Ah, Jordy, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, friends. My name's Tycho. I'm an artist. I'm a professional author and animation teacher. And I make silly stuff. We're working on comics today. I am low-key brain of potato soup, but that's okay. Sometimes that's just what happens. But yeah, I make lots of cool stuff. If you want to check out any of the things that I work on, you can go find me over on my website. I write lots of books, and I have like 200. This is like 285 pages now, almost, of my webcomic out on Top Boss and Webtoons. God, she's so mad. I'm gonna move this mouth down just a little bit, but oh my god, she angry. She's so angry. She's so mad. Yeah, we did this page, or not this page, we did this page today. So lots of dialogue. I'm finally out of this nightmarish combat sequence that I had to do for this chapter. There was so much action happening, and there were like 9 people on panel, and it was awful. So I'm glad I'm out of whatever madness that is, and all the people got beat up, and so now I don't have to suffer anymore. She's so mad. But yeah, for those of you that are new here, I teach concept art, storyboarding, and script writing for animation. I'm an award-winning author who's written books for all ages, from middle grade, like 8 to 12-year-olds, to young adult. My books have been #1 Amazon bestsellers and are award-winning in some cases, reader's favorite or Waddies or any of that good stuff. And I tend to write a lot about belonging and feeling like the world, even though the world is stacked against you, doesn't matter because we've got each other. I write a lot of Hopecore books. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. I want these bolo tie things to be a little bit more chunky. I'm actually going to also go like this. It's hard when you have a character whose mouth is kind of scrunched up. She's got fuller lips. There we go. Better. Yeah, true. Literally, did you mean Wukong every day of the week? No joke. That's literally his whole life. Okay, this arm is 7 levels of messed up. Sometimes these models are great for reference, but I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes they really do weird shit. And this armpit, whatever is going on in there, is exactly that. I have to remember that she dropped her bag. We decided that she is no longer holding the bag. Oh my god. I don't want to go grade assignments, guys. I don't want to do it. Can y'all be my students instead? I would pay real money for that. I'm gonna enroll you guys into the art college that I teach at, and then that way I don't have to deal with all my weird students. It can just be you guys. Oh man, this arm is all messed up too. Yeah, these models are fun. I do like them, but I feel like 9 times out of 10, I gotta do a lot of weird correctional shit. That's alright. Better than having to look up references. I would much rather use 3D models to do this, I think. If I wasn't quitting in like 8 weeks, I would tell you go join. Don't go to the art school I teach at. That's the lesson learned there. I don't know very much about art schools over in Europe, but I know that they are on average significantly better quality than art schools in the US, depending on where you're going anyway. Some of these schools in the US are pretty good, but on average, they tend to be for-profit schools here in the US, which can result in some pretty weird shit. Which is effectively what I'm dealing with. It's the for-profit art schools, man. Some of them are good, but it's always a toss-up. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, those are super useful. Yeah, that's effectively what this thing is. Daz is the program that I use. It's totally free. So you can use it forever. You have to buy some of the morphs and stuff. I make my own mostly. Like, there's not a whole lot of stuff that I buy. I'm definitely not using this program in the way that it was intended. But depending on your art style, you'll have to, like, yeah, use different programs for different stuff. A lot of the free posing software that's out right now is really, like, anime stylized. So I defaulted to this program instead because I decided that that was how that was going to go. I would say you have a pretty distinctive art style. It looks more like American comics or like a more mature version of like the style used for Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would say. But you definitely have a style. Every artist does. You don't have to have something that's like absolutely wacky to or like very different from other stuff to have a style, you know? Like most of the time your style is a combination of stuff that you've picked up over the years from several other artists, you know? Um but yeah, you definitely don't have to have you don't have to be doing something new to have an art style, you know what I'm saying? Like I think a lot of people assume that it's like, "Oh, well you have to be doing something new or innovative to have a quote art style." And it's like, nah, we all learn from observation, so you pick up bits and pieces from all over the place. But sure, Avatar. No, I mean, hopefully you see what I mean. But like Avatar: The Last Airbender focuses on really simplified lines and children because they're like the show predominantly stars children. And even still when they draw adult characters, they tend to be like really lineless. You know, it's simplified down pretty intensely for animation versus your figures have more of a one more detailed line art, so that leans more towards like I'm trying to think of another good example of animation that I've seen. Honestly, a lot of like animation that gets produced in the US is not really targeted towards adults. Knights of Guinevere would maybe be a comparable one that's like for adults that's 2D that I've seen recently. But Lowish has kind of a similar style where it's like it's very it is stylized, but it's more on the like realistic shading and lighting effects side. Yeah, I like animation art styles, but I also acknowledge that a lot of them, like, I would consider myself to have like an American comics art style. You know, it's not really manga, it's not really like Japanese inspired. But yeah, you definitely have an art style though. Everyone does, whether you can see it or not. It's pretty cool. Brains are weird, and we do weird shit. That's all that there is. Oh yeah, and The Witcher. Yes, actually, that's a great example. Yes, yeah, The Witcher animated series is really pretty. I used or it's the animated movie. Yeah, the Nightmare of the Wolf. Yeah, I used this as a reference for an illustration that I did. But I love this art style. It's great. Yeah, it's of course still again uber simplified because of animation. I wish that it had a higher degree of detail, but I also recognize that trying to do that with animation is awful, especially if you're going 2D. Nowadays people are getting kind of creative and you have like 2D toon shaders over top of 3D models and that makes it a little bit easier. But yeah, no, your style looks very, very similar to this, but not in a bad way. Like, these guys are very talented. I don't remember who did this studio. I wonder if it was like the Netflix, if it was just the Netflix proprietary studio. Oh yeah, Studio Mirror. No, you said that. I'm full of shit. I'm full of lies. What else have they done? Because they have a pretty distinctive style. Oh yeah, Devil May Cry. Yeah. Oh, X-Men 97. Yeah. This is insane because this is such like an intense like style copy. Like they had to really do some interesting stuff. Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy and then some Boondocks. Oh, and Legend of Korra. No, so yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I thought. Your style reminds me a lot of this because Legend of Korra in its essence is just mature Avatar: The Last Airbender. But yes, they like a lot of US studios outsource their work or Canadian studios outsource their work to South Korea specifically. But yeah, lots of good work. All right, my brain is going to explode, so I'm going to go. For those of you who popped in and raided, so Chilla, thank you so much for the raid. That was amazing. And Jordy for the follow. I know you guys are new here. There's probably a lot of new people lurking. But I'll drop the announcement anyway. As I said, I am a writer and an author and an illustrator, and I just released a special edition version of my young adult political dystopian fantasy series. So if you like The Hunger Games, if you like Divergent, if you like Full Metal Alchemist, if you like tarot cards and tarot magic, this is a great series to read. My stuff is award-winning. All of the illustrations are done by hand and by myself, and I do not use AI at all because AI is lame. So if you're looking for a human-made project to back, I just crossed 41 backers, and we only need $147 to go to reach my next stretch goal. So definitely check it out, and if you can't back, no pressure and no worries. Share it with some friends if you know anybody who likes to read. But other than that, I'm going to go. We'll come back to this tomorrow. I'll finish up this panel and then whip some colors in, and then hopefully we'll just slowly but surely make progress towards finishing up this chapter so that I can actually get it out before the end of June. So, yeah, I'll hopefully see everybody tomorrow, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.